A U.S. attempt at emulating the Canadian trucker protest is not quite working out as much as they hoped. In fact, earlier on Wednesday, there was a trucker, Bob Bolus, from Scranton, New Jersey, who decided, I am going to recreate the trucker protest. We're going to go to D.C. and we're going to go against the mandates, and we're going to get all these other things. We're going to fight against the government, but actually not really. So, okay, fun. Now, as I said, they were having some problems, right? Now, it turns out some of the truckers that they were waiting for, Bob was waiting for, who promised that they would join the convoy, never showed up. And to make this day worse, he ended up actually having to change out 2 flat tires. Once he got going, he was able to find about 7 other people to join with his convoy to the Capitol. So here already we have numbers, the greatest numbers, massive numbers. We're going to go to the Capitol with our 7 trucks, and we're going to shut down the Beltway. Great. Okay. Now, again, massive numbers, right? So now Bolus is well known to the Scranton community. He has run for mayor frequently and lost, obviously, even as a write-in candidate, and was most recently charged with insurance fraud. Real warrior for the people. Yes. Best people. The greatest people. Now, it's not going so well on the West Coast. Apparently, those who were leaving California for the Capitol, for one, are probably not even going to make it in time, you know, to go to the State of the Union address and protest. But hey, at least the turnout was a little bit better. In fact, actually a lot better. Over 1,000 vehicles had met at Adelanto Stadium for the California convoy. However, the most of them, apparently, according to reports, do not even plan on staying all the way across the United States. They just don't plan on it. Now, as Reuters reported, even the leading live streamer plans to bail in Arizona, which could be problematic if the intent is to lock down the Beltway as they had planned. Right. Now, the Beltway is 64 miles long. So you're going to need a lot of trucks, you're going to need a lot of people, and they just don't have the numbers. Why? Because, well, for one, what they're protesting against doesn't actually exist. Now, Utah, there's more before I get to that. Utah claims to have 1,000 vehicles in their convoy, and they allege it to be 6 miles long, miles and miles of people, they say. Well, how big are the gaps in between the cars or trucks in this case? Because, you know, yeah, it could be 6 miles long and have 2 cars spaced just about 6 miles apart. So, all right, sure. So now that 1,000 claim, dubious as usual, and by some reports, those who are traveling there will not actually enter D.C. One group, the People's Convoy, will abide by agreements with local authorities and terminate in the vicinity of the D.C. area, but will not be going into D.C. proper, they say during a press release. Now, for Bob Bolus, however, getting back to some of the problems, well, he did eventually get onto the road, but that is the least of his problems. You see, according to a reporter, Zachary Petrizzo, Bolus had no idea where he was going. He is stuck in traffic and has no idea where he is. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? I have no clue. Now, Petrizzo tweeted that Bolus ended up talking on the phone with a woman named Betsy, who tried to give him instructions about where he should be going. "Let me call you back," Betsy yells over the phone, and she and Bob went back and forth about what highway route to take. Betsy calls back with no concrete instructions, but rather to say that the tiny convoy will be planning to drive in circles around the I-495. And that's where we're at. The amazing U.S. trucker convoy, now basically with about 7 members, at least of Bolus's convoy, constantly running circles on the I-495. Yes, this is the protest. Bob doesn't have GPS. I don't know if Bob has GPS. I'm pretty sure that he might not even have a new cell phone. Why? Because well, you've got tracking chips in that. So the government can track exactly where you are. Why would you do such a thing? Okay. All right, fun. No, look, this is a gigantic bust. And now I go back to the reason why it's a gigantic bust. Because what are they protesting against? Are they protesting for higher wages? Are they protesting for better working conditions in the trucker industry? Are they protesting for, I don't know, additional stimulus checks for regular people? No, they're against vaccine mandates. Mandates that don't exist. You've already won, guys. There's no reason to turn out. Joe Biden's vaccine or test mandate has been struck down by the Supreme Court, the conservative Supreme Court. They don't exist. And by the way, as a result of that, you have the low cost of just only 2,000 or over 2,000 people dying a day from COVID-19. The vast majority, of course, being unvaccinated. But you won, guys! Congratulations! There's your prize. Now, of course, save for that, the truckers do say that they have additional demands, and get ready for this. They want an end to critical race theory being taught in school, of course. And justice for slain MAGA rioter Ashley Babbitt. Once again, because of course. If you still think that this is a working class revolt, that this is some sort of workers taking back their power, no, workers taking back their power are the massive unionization efforts going on at Starbucks. The unionization efforts at or I should say the strikes that the concrete workers are going and doing. The workers that are being crushed at Amazon that are trying to fight back. Those are real workers' revolts. Those are people trying to actually fight for their own rights in the workplace. These truckers are a bunch of petulant crybabies. That's all they are. Crying about things that they've been propagandized on right-wing media to believe are happening. They're not socialists. They're not looking out for workers. They're not here to serve the regular people, the average American. No, they are only there because Fox News told them, hey, the Canadian trucker protest, which was, again, not a protest to help working conditions in the trucking industry. No, they were there because, well, vaccine mandates and stuff. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You want to talk about being propagandized? It's the truckers.